Good morning everyone. It's week 3 of training for the Ultra Trail Australia. It's Saturday morning right now, I'm on the trails. Let's go for a long run. So almost 5 kilometers in. The legs feel heavy, but that's not a problem because the legs will also feel heavy at some point when I'm going to run the 100 kilometers. So this is actually just part of training. I already did 125 kilometers before I started this run, so ramping up the volume, getting used to the high volume weeks again. Yeah, hopefully we will end up with a 100-mile week. So I got up at 5 o'clock because it's going to be hot, but it was worth it. I mean, look at this. It's awesome here. So 10k in, I was struggling a bit in the last few kilometers. I was having this inner dialogue with myself because actually I just wanted to quit. I was wondering how I would be able to do a long run with these tired legs today. But then I started thinking about all these people who run across countries, run for hundreds of kilometers in one go. And then I thought, yeah, I should be able to do a long run today. Yeah, it's just all up here. So 15k into the run, starting to feel a little bit better. In the beginning, I always have a lot of thoughts, but at some point I just shut them off and I just go. And I think I've reached that point by now, so let's go. So one of the reasons why my legs are so tired today, I think, is because I'm not used to running downhill in every training session, which I do here. Actually, in my last and my first 100 kilometer race last year, it was one of my weaknesses, or my biggest weakness. When I trained for that 100 kilometer run, I was staying in Rotterdam, my hometown, which is flat beside a few bridges, so you cannot really train long downhills. I bought a treadmill, but that thing could only go up. So I did some really good sessions on 15% grade. I got really strong on the uphills. And during the race I was in the front pack with a few other guys. And on the uphills, every time I got away from them because I was stronger on the uphills. But then on the downhills, they would catch me again because my muscles were just not strong enough to cope with the downhills. So I'm glad I can also train the downhills here, because I think it will be necessary to have some strength for the Ultra Trail Australia. Just reached the half marathon point. It's getting quite hot, but finally found a bit of a rhythm, so let's see how far we can push it today. So on Thursday I did my weekly tempo session. I was not really looking forward to it because so far these sessions have been quite rough. 2 weeks ago I did 8 times 1 kilometer and I was struggling after the 5th one. This week I did 4 times 2 kilometer, which in theory should be harder, but actually I ran them faster than 2 weeks ago. So I will show you the splits of every rep on the screen. The average pace for all the kilometers was 3 minutes and 32 seconds, and I got progressively faster. So yeah, I don't know if I just had a bad day 2 weeks ago or that I'm adapting to the climate, but anyway, it went well. Yeah, let's continue with these weekly tempo sessions and see what is realistic, how I can progress over the next few months. Just past the 30k mark. So far so good. I already drank all my water, so quite thirsty. I left an extra water bottle somewhere, but it's still like 8 kilometers from here, so yeah, I guess we will do a full marathon today. Finished my long run, 42 kilometers. First marathon of the year. Total weekly volume is 167 kilometers. So first 100-mile week as well this year. Just over 2,000 meters of elevation gain. Yeah, really solid week, really happy with that. We'll take a rest day tomorrow, do an easy bike ride, and then continue with the grind next week.